Well, good evening, everyone. Happy New Year, and welcome to another episode of Live with Sandra V. Now, obviously, I'm Sandra VanSickle,
And I'm Kenny V. And our goal is to educate, inspire, and promote others with the same vision.
and on tonight's show, we hope that you will be educated as well as inspired to create new styles of panels for yourself or perhaps even others. We are going to be, like I said, designing panels, but we're also going to be talking about some fabrics, and we're going to talk about different linings and different inner linings.
Terminology,
Yep,
you got to
different.
know the lingo.
Got to know the lingo. So yeah, the terminology
You got to have the right tools.
and the right tools.
And
And
you got to get the skills right here.
that's right. Well, and we're going to have to bring you in on an episode too to talk about maybe proper measuring. How about that? Or if we get that far on installation,
I guess.
maybe tools, because you have to tell us how to get them ready to hang, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
And how you handle them with care as soon as you
That's
pick
right.
them up. And hopefully they were handled with care before you got to them.
Yeah, because like I said, in the coming weeks, once we finalize a design tonight, and I think that we will, then in the coming weeks, I will be fabricating the panels right here on the live show. And so you're going to be able to see how custom panels, we don't say drape, we usually, well, we say draperies, don't we? Um, some people say panels, some say curtains, but I think we like the drapery word the most.
I saw a vehicle today when I was on the freeway. It said curtain call. And they do curtains and blind shades and shutters.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I said, I got off track there for a little bit. We are going to be making custom treatments here, custom draperies right here. And so you're going to see how it's done in a working workroom. And that's what I have here. I have a full-fledged workroom, and I do custom work, and Ken is a professional installer.
Thank you.
So if we are meeting you for the first time, we want to say welcome. And please type in there if you're here for the first time, new, because we would like to say hello to you as well as our regular followers that come every week. They would like to say hello to you as well. So let me know who's here. Say hello right now and tell us where you're from. We want to say thank you for everyone to be here, right?
Yeah, thank you for the pleasure of your time. I'm sure you guys could be doing something else, but this is going to be more beneficial to you in the long run.
Now, a couple of things before we get started tonight. I'm going to be talking about at least 3 different companies, and they are not sponsors, but I do have accounts with them, and I've been doing business with them for years, and I think highly of them. And so that's why I am mentioning them, because you might be interested in them as well.
Okay. If they want to become sponsors, we'd be happy to entertain that also.
No, you got to get the Home Depot one first. Once you get the Home Depot sponsors, and then that might satisfy you, right?
They have called. I'm talking to them.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna see the phone real quick because I can see some of you are putting in some comments here, and
She needs to get her eyes examined.
Yes, that's so true.
To see how good looking I am again.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
But until then.
Yeah, this is what I put up with you guys. So let me check these comments real quick. And for some reason, we don't have them coming up here.
That was my point earlier that you didn't catch.
All right. But hang on one second, y'all. Let me see.
Did you guys have a good day out there? It was a beautiful day in North Carolina. It was almost 70 degrees.
There you go.
Before tomorrow, when it's going to turn into 40, and then lows of 20s and possibly some snow over the weekend.
Exactly. So, okay. Let me see. We have, sorry, this is not going to be easy. I see. Hi, Linda. How are you? All the way from Canada. I think if you don't have snow, we might be getting your snow this coming weekend. I don't know. So, hello.
Is that Linda in the Vancouver area?
That she certainly is up there.
She doesn't get that much snow over there.
Oh, really?
She got the jet stream.
Okay. We hope to see you someday. Yeah. And then Marsh Grass Threads. Good evening, Sandra and Kid. Not new. That's right. Christopher from Connecticut. I had to put your name with your business. So thank you for joining us tonight.
She's getting some cold weather up there.
Yeah. Oh, no snow, she said. Yeah. You guys are getting it cold too. And then Robin. Hi, Robin. and hello to you as well. And by the way, thank you for making your mittens. They were beautiful. If all of you don't know, just before the holidays, we made mittens out of recycled sweaters here. And we had the pattern out there, and Robin had shared with us the mittens that she made from her great aunt's old coat. Is that correct, Robin? But they were beautiful, and I really like how you put that fur around the cuff. That was just beautiful. But anyway, and so hello, Ruth, you're here, and Julie and Ginny, and again, say hello so that we know you're here. All right. I would love for all of you to hit that share button so others would receive notification that we're here. We've got a lot of comments that people wanted to be here tonight, so I'm going to turn that over to you.
Great.
Okay, and so I also wanted to ask you all, have you been following along with this remodel that we've been doing for this studio? And that's what's prompted all this.
It's only been, 6 months?
Yeah, well, our contractor kind of bailed on us, and we decided we can do it. But
Contractor Ken and painter Sandra.
That's right.
Oh, the supervisor also. A lot of coaching.
A lot of coaching. Sometimes you need a lot of coaching. So we've had a great time remodeling this place, haven't we?
Yes, dear.
Okay, thanks. And I had a hard time making a decision on what color to paint these walls. Well, first of all, I didn't expect to have shiplap, nickel gap, whatever you want to call it.
I wasn't expecting it either. I thought I was all done. I was moved out.
But I love it, and it has a warm feel in here. And I know we're a lot of green tonight, but we will be changing that up a little bit because we'll be putting a window up. So, things will look a little bit different. It won't be so green. But Ken really didn't like it. But he has this saying that if whatever I want, and if I like it, he's going to like it. Right?
Yes, dear.
Thank you.
It's been 46 years on Thursday. So.
No, it'd only be 10, 21. I don't know. Well, our anniversary's coming up. I can't remember how long it is. I have to do the calculator thing.
Not long enough. That's the answer.
Well, anyway, we need to get started on talking about these panels.
We'll get going.
Where we're really kind of messing around here. So tonight we are going to talk about a new style to go into this new studio. And the panels, we're going to have 2 panels, and they're going to be one with material each. And you all type in what's the is an acronym for width of material, because there might be some people that are coming here tonight who don't know the lingo. So that's number 1. What are is it the acronym for width of material? Okay, just type that in for us. Anyway, they're going to be stationary, and stationary means that they're going to stay put unless I push them out of the way, as opposed to being functional. Because if they were going to be functional, then you would always see a wall. We'd have basically a wall of panels that we would move back and forth. And so, but we're just going to have 2 that are going to be stationary. Okay, they're going to be lined and they're going to be interlined. Now, in this, I'm going to talk to you all about the space and why I'm going to interline them. I don't really have to interline them because they're not going to be in front of a real window, but I really love the hand of how everything feels together whenever you layer your panel with lining and interlining. Now, do you all do that a lot? Do you like to interline your treatments? We don't see it a whole lot anymore.
It gives it a more richer feel because it's more full body.
Exactly. It does. And also during the fabrication method, I think that it's important for all of you to see how we handle the interlining. So we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the both lining and the interlining. So, but let's see what everyone said first about the width of material. WOM, exactly. WOM, yes. We win, Marsh. Yes, you do. And hey, Mary Lou, how are you doing? You're going to be a grandmother real soon. Congratulations. So, all right, well, let's get talking about this on the fabric. And I'm going to jump up on it so you can see back here first. Now, this piece, I'm going to show you the swatch that's in the book. But I first saw this piece on Facebook from Greenhouse Fabrics. And when I saw this fabric laid out on there, I absolutely fell in love with it. And I thought, I really need to have this piece of fabric. I just love the colors in it, and I love the design. To me, it was a really fun design. And this is the inspirational piece for this room. And I was trying to think, I also want this to be the main part of the panel. Okay. So whenever I received the books from a greenhouse, I was flipping through and I found this velvet. It's a really soft velvet. And I actually want to smock with this. So later on, I'll be smocking a pillow out of this velvet because it's nice, lightweight. And I love the way that it blends with the print. And then again, I'm going to show you the book. And as I was flipping through, it came across this little dot. And that sealed the deal. I said, this is so cute. It all goes together really well. But now, how am I going to put it together in panels? And that's what you are going to help me with. Now, what I want to do is, let me get a close-up of the fabric. And see, just, looking in a book and having this little swatch here, there's no way that you can tell how a fabric looks if we get the full scope of how a fabric looks. Now with greenhouse fabric, you can, if you have an account with them and you have to have a business, you have to have a tax ID number, they will send you swatches. Okay. And if you need a bigger piece, you might want to buy like a yard or two. But this, I just love it. And they do a really nice job of coordinating fabrics with each other. So that's why I went, look at this. I really, really love it. No, so don't you all agree?
Easy for you.
They do. They make it extremely easy.
And Marcia says she loves your fabric choices.
Yes. Now that, thank you. It's probably Krista.
No, it says Marcia Draws.
Okay, well that's her name of her business.
Okay.
It's Krista from Connecticut.
Okay.
But you can see this book, it was hard, again, for me to make a decision on what fabrics I wanted for this room. And I just like the wall color, it was a little bit difficult for me to choose. This one, I was in love with too. It's just, I love this little, it's not even a really dot, it's just kind of a splat of color. This was another really nice one. But anyway, these fabrics, I'll just flip through a couple.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was pretty too. I love blue. Actually,
that's real popular right there.
Yes, this one here, I actually won this from, won 2 yards from Greenhouse and made a shade out of this. I think some of you saw that. Okay, so that's the, that's pretty too. So, and this pattern also comes in blues, like a navy and just a bright little blue. I don't think it's quite a cobalt number. So there you go. I could look at this book all day long. So if you're interested, reach out to Greenhouse. Some of you may already have a account with them. And this one happens to be the Prince Artisan Collection. Actually, if I turn it around, it might be easier for you guys to see, right? Okay. And then this is the book that I chose the velvet out of. And you can see why in putting them all together. And again, these velvets are just to die for. They're so pretty. And I don't know, you couldn't see it on the wall, but maybe you can see here just how nice and soft this is. So this will not only work nice in panels, but it will also look nice for pillows and even bandings for window treatments. Okay.
Donna from Redmond is watching. David, baby, and also Barbara Roth and Jennifer DeRosa.
Hey everyone! He said the names real quick, but we met Jen up in Pennsylvania, remember? And Donna, hello. And who did I miss?
Barbara Ross.
And Barbara.
Roth.
Oh, hi Barbara, how are you? Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is the lining. Now there are all different types of lining out there, and some of you may have been making panels for a long time. I'm going to sit down real quick. It's easier for me. Now, some of you may be making panels for a very long time, and you remember the rain no stain way back when, and that's pretty much all we had available to us. Remember that? How many of you remember that? And it's almost like, oh, could they just take it off the market? But then again, sometimes I know if we need to have a have some lining to make patterns with, we can certainly use that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if I want a piece of it in my workroom. What about you guys? Tell me, what's your favorite lining? I will tell you that mine, I'm going to talk about it, but I'm going to tell you mine is luster sateen. And I think that seems to be, the popular one amongst the folks that have workrooms here in our area. So let's go ahead and look at some linings, and let me get a close up. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard of United Supply Company, and again, I put their link in the comments below. And I'm mentioning to them again because these are the folks that I mainly get my linings from. They're here. They have a office here locally, and so it's really easy. If Ken's on the road, he can go down and pick up the bolt of lining for me, or they'll deliver it. But they're handy, and so that's why I use them. I have ordered from Haynes, and I have ordered from Angels. And I know a lot of you out there have ordered from Angels over the years because they always put the pops, the not popsicles, the lollipops into the rolls. And the first time I received a bolt of lining from Angels, and I turned the package upright, I hear running inside the cardboard tube, and it scared the living loving daylights out of me because I thought there was something crawling in that tube. And then to open it up and find out that it was a lollipop, the Tootsie Pop. That's what they're called.
Did you get any more work done that day, or did you just sit around looking at Tootsie Pops?
Yeah, we had fun with the Tootsie Pops, and we laughed about it. So
Real quick, I got you broken down your concentration.
Yep.
Jennifer mentioned that she at one point worked at Joanne's, and she sold a lot of that fabricate you talked about earlier.
The rain no stain. Yeah, I cringe, and they still have it out there, and you go, I can't even touch it. It's like, oh, I can't believe that. But that's all we had available back then, right? So okay, so I'm gonna go back to the linings and just kind of go through them. And linings come in different colors. Now here's the luster sateen that I was talking about, and this one here is 100% cotton, and they pretty much are all 54 inches wide for the most part. There are some that are wider, and it comes in khaki, and it comes in ivory. Now tell me, you all type in your area, what is the most common color lining that you use? Here it seems to be the ivory, but every now and then, because I know the ivory is almost a white, and it's reading white on the screen, but every now and then we'll get a call for white lining. Okay. Now there's also, that comes in black, and at another episode, I'm going to talk more about linings in depth because we can use the black luster sateen for a blackout, a French blackout method. Now, how many of you done the French blackout before? So I'm not going to go through all of these because we're going to, like I said, I'll talk about it in another episode in depth. So we're just going to flip through them. But that's, a lot about the linings. And United Supply has all different types. So it just depends on what you prefer, what your client prefers, where are you located at? Do you need a heavier lining? Are you in an area where it's, it's really cold and you want a little bit more insulation? Or if you, or maybe just like the hand of I'm going to say rain no stain, but a luster sateen compared to, say, another, they've got superior cottons in here and they're a little bit thinner. So it just really depends.
Now, you say hand. Does everybody know what that means when you say that?
What do I mean when
Because
I
that's
say
some of the
hand?
terminology that,
Again, there's a terminology. So what do I mean when I say it has a good hand? What does that mean to you?
I got a couple comments I forgot to.
Sure,
All
yes.
right. Jennifer mentioned that luster is comparable with something from the angels or
Mm-hmm.
Haynes.
That's right.
And Barbara Roth, she stocks white, rarely gets asked for ivory.
Yep, yep. Very
And
common, yes.
Linda, white, but I'm thinking about suggesting black on occasion.
Yes.
And Jennifer, again, I carry ivory, white, and white.
Yep, yep.
And she also has done the French blackout.
Oh, I love the French blackout method. I honestly, and again, we'll put that to the side for tonight because we will talk about that later. But I love the French blackout method over blackout. And I wish that whenever people want blackout, that they would prefer the French blackout method over blackout. But
maybe you need to invite them to that show.
Maybe I should. Because they don't know any different. That's right. It's all about educating your clients too. And Jen, you brought up a good point there. The names, each company will have, sometimes they'll have a different name for the same product of another company. And so yes, Haynes will have and I didn't look all that up ahead of time to compare them. And like I said, another reason why I use United is because I have one of those big the big cutting machines, and so all my lining it gets racked onto that big machine. And a lot of times, if I have a bolt of lining or inner lining shipped to me, the tube gets smashed, and when the tube gets smashed, it doesn't roll on my machine very well. So, yeah. Any other comments?
That's a great reason for a lot of people. I'm sure that they have some sort of way of rolling it on their own table, so that's something for them to consider if they've had an issue.
That's right.
Maybe they need to seek another supplier or figure out another delivery method to maybe prevent that.
Well, a lot of times too, what happens if you have a machine or if you roll it and you know how it gets stuck on the roller, just contact the companies because I know they're really nice about saying, you know, making sure that I get a bolt that's not broken, so or crushed. Okay, what other comments do we have? And then I'm going to move on.
Ruth says hi. Bonnie's sewing room and upholstery services says hello.
Bonnie, how are you?
And Ruth? The lady from Connecticut just ordered putty color from Angels. Yes.
There you go.
For valance.
Yes, there you go. And it depends because, you know, a lot of times your client, they depends on the facade of the home too. And sometimes the clients live in an area where there's a homeowner association and they're not allowed to have, say, like, you know, maybe a, let me see if I have one here. A khaki or a black or exactly. A lot of times it has to be in the white family. So anyway, there, that's, you know, a lot of bit, I guess, about some linings. And like I said, we'll get into the blackouts and all that later on, and in what the good use for the blackouts and all that is for. But for this project, I'm going to be using the ivory luster sateen. Okay, and I'm also going to be using interlining, and there are different weights of interlining as well. And there's colors. They come in a natural. And the interlining, what it is just, it's like a flannel. They're usually 100%, they're 100% cotton, and they're 54 inches wide. And this one here, some of them will have what they call economy, and I don't know if you can see it from here. It's hard to tell, but you can feel it. And then they'll have,
the hand of it.
Right, the hand of it. Did anybody answer that, by the way?
No.
And so what the interlining really does is it goes between the back of the face to the in between the face and the lining, and it will add like a layer of insulation. It can add like a layer of insulation for the draperies. It also is great to back silk panels. And you know, years ago, it's not that many years ago, has it been? We just did some silk panels not too long. But sometimes we'll get in a nice, a thinner silk. And just to have that layer of interlining behind the silk gives it a nice little padding. Like you said, it really boosts it up a little bit. So this here, like I said, there's some heavy flannel.
Is the color really a concern then because it's sandwiched?
Yes, it could be if good question. Ken wants to know if the interlining really makes if it makes any would make any difference.
Color.
The color of it will make any difference when it's sandwiched between the lining and the back of the face fabric. And I'm going to say yes, because if you have, say, a panel that is white or just slightly off white or cream, and if you use a natural interlining in there, it very well could turn that fabric just maybe a little yellow. I don't want to say beige or tan. It could turn just slightly.
So if it's kind of a sheer fabric, doesn't hold its own weight, the color may
right. If it's a heavy printed fabric, like the dot back here, if you had ivory or the natural behind it, you probably couldn't tell the difference. But if it was something lighter weight, yes. Okay. And there's also interlining out there called bump. Now, how many of you have used bump, or do you still use bump? Now, bump is just a heavier weight, it's like a flannel, and this one here happens to be a cotton and polyester.
That's like 2 or 3 times the thickness of the normal.
It is. It is pretty thick, and we used to use it a lot. I used it a lot backing. Again, silk panels, and it really does give it a good oomph. So there you go. Okay, so there's lining.
Your definition of oomph is more fullness and luscious.
Yes, luscious, and the more luscious it is, I think the better it is.
And the more layers, just think that's more work, so that translates into a higher cost.
Exactly, and that's a good point. Maybe you should come back here and sit with me, since you have a lot of good comments here tonight. But yes, it does. And what do you? Because the more layers that we add, the more we charge for that, because it certainly is a handling fee, and you've got to take and treat each layer separately before you combine them together. Okay. All right. So we're almost at the halfway point, so I got to move it on a little bit here. But again, later on, maybe in another episode, we'll really go in depth into the different linings and the inner linings, and what differences they make within your treatments. Because there's certainly not, some of this not just for panels, it's for your window treatments and your bedding as well. Sometimes we'll put some of these, the linings or the inner linings, inside of pillow shams, pillows, the lined pillows with bedding. I've used bump. Sometimes can be a little bit stretchier, but I have used heavy interfacing in coverlets before. Somebody who just wants a thin little coverlet. How about you all? Have you all used interlining for that?
Ruth was saying she hadn't used bump for years.
Yeah.
And you would think that they would. They're with all the cold temperatures.
So
add another layer more.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But it just depends on your clients. Okay.
And Barbara says she's only used it a couple times because there was fuzz everywhere.
It is. You almost need to wear a mask with it, don't you? And it does, and it has a stretch to it. And it used to always worry me when it would stretch that it was going to droop in the center, in the panels, and because it had a little stretch to it. So
did it in fact do that or no?
No, it didn't. It did fine. And so we'll talk about that. And as we make and another thing too, as we make the panels online, we'll be talking about how you layer them and how far up from the bottom do you layer each layer. Okay. So now the good fun part is going to come now. Let's pick a design for these panels. Now, I have just one request. Don't laugh at my drawings. I am not an artist. I was given the gift of being able to look at something and make it out of fabric, but I cannot draw it. I can cut it and make it, but I can't draw it. So go figure, right? So when you see my drawings, you cannot laugh, All right. So keep in mind they're going to be using these 3 fabrics. I want this one to be my main, and we'll talk about what we can do with those. Now I'm going to show you the idea. Let me get my papers up here. Okay.
Bonnie's sewing rootless or me?
Bonnie?
Okay. I didn't know if that was a family name or not. Anyways, she says your background looks great.
Oh,
Sandra, and I'm going to add Ken. Great job.
Thanks.
I was a part of that.
Yep, he was a big part of it. Yeah. And just we get into the design of the panels, but I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, a warning. Okay, I'm going to warn you all for a couple of things here. I always have more than 2 things going in my head at the same time. A lot more than that usually. So
Squirrel?
Big time squirrel. So I'm trying to contain it. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So as we're not done with the remodel, by the way, we still have a little bit more to go, and we're going to add different elements into the studio to make it make everything multi-use is what the word I'm looking for. We're going to be building tables that can go upright and go next to each other to use as a pinning board. They'll be able to come down and butt up against each other. So I have a longer table, a wider table, or they can be moved out, or they can be set back up, and we can put tablecloths over if we're going to have a meetup here, or friends or local chapters coming for meetings and things like that. So everything is going to be on rollers. And as we go along, we are going to do live segments and have you watch us build these things. And I really can't wait for the tables to be built. I can't wait to get the panels done, but I'm really excited about these tables. And I think it's really going to help folks who have small spaces, or maybe you need to add an extra table that you can butt up to your large table to work on. So hopefully the things that we're going to be doing here, adding to this room, will again be an inspiration to all of you and help you with what you have going on in your space. Okay. Any questions or any other comments before I get started?
Baby says LOL, however many times.
Yes.
She can't draw. And Marcia, I think it's late. That'd be good again. She can't draw.
Krista?
And I'm laughing because
Good. Thank you for that. Okay, so here we go.
And Sharon's watching.
Oh, hi, Sharon. Everybody else watching out there, we can't always see that you're watching unless you say hello. So please say hello. And if you love the fabrics and the wall and all that, please give me a thumbs up. Because remember, Ken didn't like it. I went against. Why didn't go against? You said yes. Okay. So.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I do. You just said, I hate that green. Okay.
I guess the yes was almost 21 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
And that covered everything since, and then the future.
Okay, there you go. All right, here's my first thought, okay? And please, this is, I did take a drawing class with Jackie Von Tobel, and I hope that she never sees this because she will be so disappointed. She's a friend of mine, and she'll probably just be shaking her head, right? Okay, but these are, this is my first thought. These are actually like goblet pleats here. And I know that usually, let me see if I can draw it like this. Usually a goblet pleat will come down and they stay pretty fat, right? And they stay pretty fat, and then we pinch them in right here. I'll never make her proud. I'll never make Jackie proud. And so they're really a really fat pleat, and we usually stuff them with cotton or buckram or whatever to make them poof out, right? Well, I was thinking that make the panel out of the print and do like a goblet pleat, but there's a name for these pleats, and I forgot what they are, but cut them out to where they cup out a little bit. Maybe they're called a cup goblet or something, I don't know. But just cut it out like this, okay? So that we can see the fabric inside of the goblet. So that's why these are swooped down like this, because they're going to come down. And then we'll have the print. And then I didn't, if I went this route, which fabric should I put here? Well, first of all, tell me what you all think about this design, first of all. What do they say?
They're just saying that Jennifer mentioned she took a class with Jackie also, and that she is proud that you can draw.
I can't draw. Thank you, Jennifer.
And somebody says scalloped goblet.
A scallop goblet, is that what it's called? But you know what I mean? So that you can see, it just swoops down. And so you can see down inside, right? So if I go this route, do you think that I should put the velvet, the solid on the inside, or the little dot?
The dots.
The dots? You guys tell me. Dots, number one. Number one is dots. And number two would be the solid. Because I don't know.
Bonnie's saying solid.
Solid?
Linda's saying velvet, solid.
Okay, two. Okay, here. This is what I'm going to do. As you're telling me. Okay, so this we got
two solids.
Dots.
No, two solids.
I know, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to write this here. Dots and solid. Tell me again. Two solids?
Well, now we got the,
you're gonna have
two, three solids.
Okay.
4 solids.
Okay.
5 solids.
Okay.
Sharon is it's the GIZZI.
Okay.
She's going for the solid also.
Okay. Another solid. Okay. Hey, Sharon.
Looks like winter.
Huh? So, okay. All right. So I think solid's it. Okay. So solid on the inside, and then of course the print there. But then we have the dots. So what we're going to do with the dots? Now I had another thought. I'll give you guys a moment. I have another thought though. Maybe we should look at this. Maybe I should take it down. Right. I'll book it here. Okay, maybe we should put it down here. Okay, lay it down here. And we'll take the solid. Lay it down next to it. That's going to be pretty. And then we'll take the dots down. Okay, now we're really going to be green. Anybody say what they thought for the dots?
We stopped them at solid.
Sorry. Oh. Okay. So let's see. Go here. Do you think that if this is the panel and we're going to have this on the inside, okay, should have made it a sample. This is going to be on the inside. I was thinking of like adding a cording. I love cording. I love little tiny cording. Now I don't know if we can cord. If we can show that here.
Linda, she says leave the dots out of the equation. She thinks it's a little too casual for the velvet and the meat.
Okay. All right. That's a thought. Just don't even put it in there, right?
I suppose maybe you can make a pillow out of it if you need that color.
That's true. That's true. But do you think that if I cord, I like separating 2 layers with cording whenever possible. So I was wondering if maybe if I shouldn't cord along the top and then around the goblet and then here and around here. What do y'all think?
All right. Bonnie says yes to the cording contrast.
Okay.
And Robin says band the lead edges with the dots. Micro cord with the velvet between the dots and the main fabric.
Okay. So Bonnie, do you okay? And that's you're on the.
Bonnie's the cording.
Okay, so yes to the, okay, so solid's gonna win here. Okay, cord, and this is like a micro cord. Now I realize that if we cord it, you're you probably won't it won't have a lot of contrast because it's got all the same colors in it. Okay, so cording.
So Linda came through with the micro cord.
Okay, so I think anybody says no to the micro cord.
Yeah.
Yay, cord, yes. Okay.
But I suggested that.
Yes, that was good. So, Bonnie, let me ask you this. Were you thinking of adding the banding to this same panel or letting it that be it? That it.
Jennifer just said she liked the micro cord in the velvet.
Oh.
And put the dots inside the cut.
Uh-huh.
That's what I was saying.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That might be better.
Isn't it more soft and pliable? It's not going to mess up the
Yes.
and stuff?
Yes. So let's look at that. Let's see if we can visualize that. That might be better because because the contrast of the two of these, of the dots with the solid, you don't really see, you really can't tell the difference because the microcord is going to be so small. So if this was on the inside, let's see if we can just look at this. You girls are smart. Okay, so if this is on the inside, like my cuff. Yeah. All right, so this is a cuff. Uh-huh, I think that's it.
Cecilia says yes to dots on the inset and cords and cord and velvet.
Okay, yes, I am leaning that way. I love that idea. So we're going to actually go back to the dots. So we're going to say dots here in the inside. And then the cord is solid cord and print here. What's everybody thinking?
Everybody came on board with me.
Oh, everybody came on board with you. Oh, I think so. He thinks he's a designer.
She likes it better.
You like that better? Okay. So who do we have out there? Everybody give me a thumbs up. If you guys like the print, the dots on the inside, and the solid cording, give me a thumbs up.
It looks like you got a couple of hearts and a couple of thumbs.
Okay. Love it. Love it. Okay, so I have another question for you. One more question. Because remember, we want to showcase these babies. Do you think that we need to do anything with the banding? Do you think that we need to do a solid banding with and switch it off with the dot cord, or do the dots here and with cording along the lead edges as well?
I think that's going to be too much.
I think it's going to be too much. I don't know. I'm gonna see everybody's comments too. What do you guys think? Give me some feedback. What's everyone saying? Let me see.
Not much change.
Okay.
Got a thumbs up.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So, we all thinking? Only way to break the pattern. Okay, I'm going to read what you all say. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read what your comments, because Ken's he's good at this, but let's see. Yes to the microcord. Yep. And yes, do dots inset and a cord in velvet. Like that. Looks good. Okay. Banding. Yeah. Thank you, Sharon. Yes. How is panel hanging? Straight or tie back? They're going to hang straight. They're going to hang straight, Cecilia. And I know part of me thinks that it might be too much, but part of me thinks, ooh, because when they're gonna be seen when we're on the show, and I'm afraid that when they're up in the air, we might not see all the. I guess we're gonna have to make sure that we show the pleats, right? If we're gonna do this, that maybe the banding down the lead edge. I think I'm gonna put the banding down the lead edge, and if it doesn't look good, I can always take it out, right?
We can install them as cafe height. That way you can see them.
No, we want the cafe heights. No. Okay. All right. So that's that. And I got to watch the time too. Okay. So let me go.
15.
So the other thought that I had too was to be a little bit more simplified. We did the fun one first because I think I'm leaning that way. All right. So the other thought was just being a little bit more. Okay, I think I like what these girls are saying. Is to just do the panel with the print. Be a little bit more simplified. Just do the print, and do really, really soft pleats up here, like soft pleats. No buckram. How many of you use buckram a lot, by the way? And if you use buckram, do you use 6-inch or do you use 4-inch? What's your preference? And then just do a small little banding of, say, the velvet, and then a larger band, like maybe 2-3 inches of the dot, or vice versa. Well, I think this needs to be the velvet, and then maybe put the velvet along the top, and make these little pleats just so they're like, I almost call them a butterfly pleat. They're just real soft with no buckram. You probably on the side, if you're looking on the side view, I only maybe stitched down maybe 2 inches, if even that, just not very far. And then you just give them a little, do like a 3-finger, and you just kind of pinch them right there. And they just, or you can even pinch them longer if you want to. And then they just kind of do that fanning out. I love those. So, what are your thoughts on that? We can also do some fancy banding too. We could also just take one of the fabrics and do, instead of banding, and bring it across here and bring it across the bottom. I don't know that this fabric, I don't really think that this printed fabric really lends itself to all of that. But what are your thoughts?
And I don't think that the bottom embellishment's going to be any show worthy.
That's
It's
right.
not going to be camera view.
That's right. We'll be in the camera view, so that's a good point, Mr. Kenny V.
Unless you put it on one of these other ones, and you have a different type of camera view.
Mm-mm. I think this is the way we're going to go. Do you all agree? Let me get back to that first one. I think we're going to seal the deal. Okay.
I'm generally not a goblet lover, only because of the stack.
Yes, that's a good point too. Yes, yeah. But I think we're going to go this route. Tell me, y'all. Yes. Thank you, Bonnie. Is it Bonnie? I know it says Bonnie's Sewing Room and Upholstery Services, but you're Bonnie too, right? Yeah, you like this. You like this one here. This is number 1, Jen. Okay, I agree. I think we're gonna go for this because it's really gonna showcase the different fabrics, and as I create this, you all will be there helping me, because I will be talking out loud, and I will be pattern drafting, the top pieces here, and figuring out the spaces and things like that. So yeah, that would be good. The goblet design. Okay, I think that is unanimous. So I like that. So we're just going to go with this one here, print, and the dots on the inside, and it's going to be corded along the top as well as down the lead edge, and then this lead edge is going to be this is going to be the dots. No, yes, this is the dots right here too. Oop, correct me if I'm wrong. So you said you would do the lead band as an attached lead section. Insert vertical cord as an attached. Now, what do you mean by attached? Because normally what I would do is this would just be a solid piece. And the way I join it, I can't explain how I join it right now, but I join it so it'll be flat, but it will be, and then I'll have the velvet cord right here. And so this will be the dots.
I would think that what she's talking about is, instead of your print fabric being your lead edge, and then putting the banding and the cording on, I think she's talking about adding that section on there. This is not the lead edge.
Oh yeah, right. That will, exactly. I think that's what you're talking about, right, Cecilia? Tell us that. Okay, what time is it? Because we're probably You need to hop out of here. We got 10 minutes. Okay, cool. We always run a little late. So is that what you were thinking, Cecilia, that this would just be the dots here? This is going to be the dots. And I usually overlay it. You watch me do it, how I overlay it onto the edge of this fabric and cord it and bring it around. Do not band. Turn the lead edge into the hem. Turn the lead edge into the hem. So this is my lead edge. You mean the side hem? Because this is my dots. And so what I usually do is flip the fabric back. I'll stitch it and bring it back over this fabric and then around to the back for my side hem.
Bye, Linda.
Okay, bye, Linda. Oh, have fun at the condo meeting. And we'll see you next week. We will be cutting. Mm-hmm.
Are you going to make a small sample of the, in the design that the folks have chosen before you get going, or are you just going to jump into it?
We're just going to jump in.
Okay.
Oh, you're right, Barbara. I think you're right. Real? Is it velvet band? Okay, I better change that. Thank you, Barbara. Because I think that would show up better. The solid. And then we're going to SOLID. Solid band. I better write this here. I'm going to write it on the other side. Okay. Inset.
Dots.
Dots. Top cord. Velvet. You guys correct me as I'm writing. Lead edge. Velvet. Yes. Okay. Thank you, girls. Lead edge is velvet. And then the cord on the lead edge is the dots. And we're going to line with luster sateen. I write horrible too. And then we're going to interline. And I'm going to use a heavy flannel. Only because you guys might come here and look at it one time. No, anyway, I think that would just feel so good to me.
What type of hardware are you thinking?
The hardware is just, we're just going to do a metal rack, a metal rod that's going to be up top. And what's going to happen is, like I said, I'm going to be using this room for different things. And so sometimes I'll have that bright colored picture painting up here. Sometimes I'll have a window. And then when I have the window, I will have the panels there. And when I don't need the panels, I will be pushing them over. So the track is going to run the whole width of the room. This way, this filming area is going to be multi-purpose. And so if I'm doing an online class or if I'm here, it just depends on what backdrop that I will have. So that's the rod is just going to be a yeah, it'd be like a traversing rod, but it's we've already got the rod, and they are, I think they're from United Supply. They're just a little metal like a traversing rod. Yeah, not really traversing, but movable. Track. That's what we're looking for. That's what I needed you here for. Okay, so anyway, next week we will be back here, and we are going to be talking about doing the measurement, and we're going to talk about how you receive your fabrics. Okay, so let's go. We're measuring, and then ordering, and filling out a proper work order, and then how we plan out our cuts. We are just going to go through those steps. Now, one thing I've learned over the years and working with my other friends here in the industry that live in our area, whenever we get together, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So as I'm fabricating, it's going to be really interesting to hear what you all have to say about how you would fabricate these panels too. And I'm sure that I'll be asking you all for your advice on some things because I might do something a little bit different. Because how many of you are one-person workrooms, and you're in your workroom, and how many times do you say, oh my gosh, how should I do that? I can do it this way, I can do it that way, and you just need to bounce ideas off of one another. So we certainly do some of that. And if you all would like to, I have put the link in to my website here in the comments below. And I have a free, you can sign up and get my free, download my free, the work order that I happen to use. You may already have one of your own, but if you don't, just go there and look under, I think it says tutorials. It might say tutorials and freebies, I can't remember. But if you click on it and you scroll down, you'll see it. And you can download my work order unless you already have one. Because I'm going to be filling that out. And it'll just give you a feel for how my flow works here in my workroom. So anyway, any questions out there before we sign off for tonight?
Veronica Van Gelder's finally showed up.
Hey, Veronica.
Kathy Sullivan.
And Kathy. It was certainly great to have all of you here, and we do look forward to you coming next week. And if you have like any questions, just type them in, and I will try to answer them later. And I think that's it for tonight.
I can't believe it.
Okay, are we on time?
Over 5 minutes early.
Are we really? Okay. Would you want to come in and say goodbye real quick? Bring your chair over, and then we'll hop out of here. And remember, as we go along too, since we've got an installer in the house, once we get to that point, you can. Ken will be giving some input, I'm sure. He's good at that. So, feel free
Probably too much or unsolicited at some point.
It's okay. It's okay. So, okay. Let's see what they're saying.
Looking forward to seeing me more, I think is what they said. I didn't see the last part of it.
Yeah. Well, he will be here more too because the things...
They said?
Will the download work order be editable? I don't think that it is. No, it's not. I haven't got it into that version yet. I've used it for years and years and years. So no. But it would at least give you an idea if you want to take it and build your own work order off of it. Just gives you a little bit of an idea if you'd like to. I would like to go in and edit it myself. I just haven't had a chance to. But
maybe we should extend if anybody else wants to send what the work order they use.
That's right.
Because like you said, there's more than one way. Maybe there's something that we could pick up.
Okay. Yep.
From them.
Yeah, we could too. If you guys would like to put yours out there too, and we'll talk about the work orders because that'd be another good segment too. So, all right, everyone, thank you again for coming tonight, and we certainly hope that we have fulfilled some of our goal to educate, inspire you all, as well as promote these people out there who supply us with what we need in this industry. So, have a good night, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Good night.